This is the Carty Method Podcast.
Hey photographers, it's Carty here. Today, I'm delivering brutally honest advice for photographers who aren't getting hired. Today, we're going to be tackling something that's quietly killing your photography career, making nothing pictures. So, what do I mean by nothing pictures? These are the images that don't serve a purpose, they don't solve a problem, and they definitely don't make money. Those are snapshots. Those are snapshots without intentions. Those are random captures that don't contribute to your growth as a professional. If you've ever felt like you're working hard but not getting booked, if your portfolio isn't attracting the right clients, or if you're struggling to get people to take your work seriously, this episode is for you. We're going to break down today what's really going on and, more importantly, how to fix it. For over 3 decades, I've not only mastered the art and the business of photography, but I've also helped countless photographers like you transition from their 9-to-5 jobs to thriving full-time creative careers. It's not theory, it's proven through my own journey. I've been a pro for 34 years, and the successes of those that I've mentored since 1995. I've learned firsthand what it takes to blend creative passion with real-world business savvy, and I'm here to pass that knowledge on to you. If you're serious about leaving behind that grind and stepping into a life where your creativity pays the bills, this podcast is your roadmap. I'm going to guide you through the mindset shifts, the strategies, and the practical tools that have helped me and so many others transform a passion for photography into a profitable, fulfilling career. By the end of today's episode, you'll have actionable insights that you can implement right away, helping you move from a place of doubt and anxiety to one of anticipation and success. So, what are nothing pictures? Let's get straight to the point. If your images aren't helping you move forward, they're holding you back. And the hard truth, most photographers, especially emerging ones, spend way too much time making nothing pictures. These aren't shots that are the stars of your portfolio. These are the shots that don't contribute to your business. They don't build your brand, and they don't create any meaningful opportunities. They might get a few likes on Instagram, but they don't lead to real work, real impact, or real money. So you can shoot all day. You can shoot all day, every day. But if your images don't have a purpose, you're spinning your wheels. You might be staying busy, but you're not progressing. So let's break this down and get clear about what nothing pictures actually look like and why they're killing your growth. So first of all, images without commercial value. If no one would pay you for the image you just made, you have to ask yourself why you made it. You have to ask yourself why you made it. This isn't about personal work. Passion projects, they absolutely have their place. I'm talking about if your goal is to make a sustainable income with photography. If that is your goal, then your passion projects and you making pictures for fun, it doesn't really apply here. If your goal is to make a living with photography, you need to start making images that have commercial value. So this is what I want you to ask yourself every single time you shoot something. Every single time you look through your camera and do this. Ask yourself, could this image be used in a magazine? Ask yourself, would a business pay for this photo? Ask yourself, could this be licensed on a stock site? Ask yourself, would this help a brand sell a product or tell a compelling story? Is this brand friendly? If the answer is no, then you need to question whether taking that image is worth your time. Now, by the way, it doesn't mean that every single image that you create has to be for a client, but it does mean that you should start thinking more strategically about why you're making certain images. Great example. If you want to work with fitness brands, are you shooting fitness images that showcase your skill within that space? If you want to work with musicians, do you have dynamic, professional quality portraits that could be album covers, press pictures, or social media branding for that musician? Too many photographers are shooting aimlessly, expecting clients to just get what they can do. But clients don't hire photographers based on potential. They hire based on proof. And if your portfolio is full of nothing pictures, or your Instagram is full of nothing pictures, you're not giving them any reason to hire you. Okay? So every great image serves a role. Okay, let's talk about photos that have no clear purpose. Every image serves a role, okay? And that role could be marketing, storytelling, personal branding. If your images don't serve any of those, it's time to rethink what exactly you're doing. So, a powerful image should do one or more of the following, okay? This is what a powerful image should do. It should make someone want something, okay? That's the first thing. Hey, thanks for subscribing, Framed Experience. It should make someone want something. A strong image should create desire. It should make a viewer want to buy, book, or engage with whatever's in the photo. Imagine a well-lit product picture that makes a potential buyer instantly want that item. Okay? So, number one, it should make someone want something. That's the first thing that your photography should do. Number two, it should make someone feel something. Feel something. Emotion sells, okay? So a portrait that evokes curiosity, that evokes connection, or evokes nostalgia is far more valuable than just an in-focus headshot. So here's an example. A musician's promo image that captures their essence, their attitude, their brand. That's the type of image that gets used in marketing campaigns. So, number three, make someone understand something, okay? Make someone understand something. A powerful image should instantly communicate an idea. It should make the viewer immediately understand what's happening, what's being offered, or why it matters. Here's an example. A food photograph that tells the story of comfort, of indulgence, or of freshness. A fashion image that clearly defines a brand's aesthetic. If your images don't check at least one of these three boxes, they're not working for you. They're just not. They're just sitting there, taking up space in your portfolio. So, I want to touch a little bit on content that doesn't serve your growth, okay? Content that doesn't serve your growth. Shooting without a plan, going out and shooting photos without a plan keeps you stagnant. I'm going to say it flat. One of the biggest mistakes that I see photographers make, they spend months, even years, making the same images over and over without ever improving. If you've been shooting for a while and your work looks the same as it did last year or even 6 months ago, that means you're in a creative rut, okay? And that creative rut is keeping you from moving forward. Ask yourself, are you experimenting with new lighting, with new composition, with new storytelling techniques? Are you refining your niche and shooting images that align with the kind of work that you want to be hired for? Are you pushing your skill set to the next level? If you're just grabbing your camera and shooting whatever you see out there that looks interesting, oh, tree, click, oh, bird, click, oh, dog, click, oh, car, click, oh, person, click, oh, I like your umbrella, click, oh, I like your shoes, click, oh, look at that flower, click. If that's you, if you're a hobbyist and you're not trying to make a living at photography, that's perfectly okay. But if you're serious about turning your photography into a business, you need to stop doing that immediately. You need to be intentional about the work that you create. What this means studying photographers that are doing the kind of work that you want to do, okay? That means reverse engineering the lighting, the posing, and the composition of high-level images. And make sure every single shoot that you do moves you forward towards a bigger goal. If you're not doing that, you're just staying busy instead of getting better. So, you want to talk a little bit about random snapshots without intention? Like random snapshots, you're going out and snapping things that you think are interesting. The harsh reality is this: professionals don't just take pictures. I'm going to say that again. Professionals don't just take pictures. They make pictures. Okay? They make pictures, which is idea and execution. Okay? The difference is intention. That's the difference. The difference is intention, planning, purpose, okay? Most emerging photographers, they think their biggest problem is not shooting enough. They think their biggest problem is not shooting enough, where in reality, the problem is they're shooting too much without any strategy behind it, okay? So, how do you know if you're making random snapshots instead of making real photography? Well, this is how you know, okay? You go out, you grab your camera, you head out, and you shoot whatever captures your eye, okay? You go out, you're snappity snap, 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 you shoot whatever you like without thinking about why are you capturing it, okay? You rely on happy accidents. Oh my God, I went out, I had my camera, and then a car accident happened. I was right there and instead of thinking about intentional composition, lighting, and subject choice, okay? Like you shoot 500 plus images in a session, but you walk away with like 1 or 2 photographs that actually are worth looking at. Pros don't just hope. Oh, I hope that I get a good shot. I hope. They know that they're getting an amazing photo before they even press the shutter, because it's idea execution. So it's a huge difference, right? It's a huge difference. So instead of clicking away at everything, what you can do is you can start approaching your shoots like a director, okay? What you could do is you could pre-visualize the end result. You could pre-visualize the end result. Ask yourself, what do you want this image to do? What do you want this image to do? Ask yourself that with every single time you shoot photographs. Ask yourself, What do you want this image to do? And the next thing, you can control the elements. I promise you can control the elements. You have the ability to control the elements. And when you control the elements, composition, lighting, when you're controlling everything, like when you're controlling everything, composition, lighting, subject matter, and setting, everything is deliberate. And number 3, what you can do is you can work with intention, okay? Every single image that you create should serve a purpose, whether it's for a client, whether it's for your portfolio, or if it's a personal project that builds your brand, okay? The bottom line here is, if your photography is not opening doors, if it's not getting you clients, or if it's not helping you grow, it's definitely time to audit your work. Most photographers aren't struggling because they aren't good. They're struggling because they're not focused. That's why they're struggling. It's not because of lack of talent. It's because they're not focused. If you're making images that don't serve a purpose, they're just taking up space. You're just putting out more noise. So here's my challenge to you. Go through your Instagram, go through your work today, okay? I want you to delete the nothing pictures. Delete them, archive them, get them off your Instagram, get them off your website. And I want you to keep the images that serve a purpose. And I want you to plan. Delete, keep, plan. I want you to plan your next shoot with a clear goal in mind. Once you stop making nothing pictures, you'll start making pictures that matter. And that is how you get paid. It's how you get paid. Okay, so let's talk about the 3 types of valuable images, because there's 3 types of valuable images. If you're stuck making nothing pictures, if you don't know how to get out of it, here's the fix. You need to start creating images that have value. It's simple. You need to start creating images that have value. Value in photography isn't just about technical skill, but it is as well. It's about purpose. Every great image serves a function, okay? And whether that function is making money, developing your career, or building your personal brand, it could be one of those 3 things: making money, developing your career, or building your personal brand. If your portfolio isn't filled with images that falls into one of these 3 categories, you're wasting your time and you're wasting your energy. So let's break down the 3 types of images that actually move the needle forward in your photography career. Number 1, commercial images. Commercial images, which are client-focused work. Client-focused work. And I'm going to show you some client-focused work. This is the bread and the butter of a professional photographer. These are the type of images that solve a problem for a client, okay? Because the client needs branding, or a magazine needs an editorial, or an advertising agency needs a campaign, or Netflix needs a movie poster, or a model needs portfolio images. These are problem-solving images that I make a lot of problem-solving images that stop the scroll. So, what makes an image commercial? And let me show you some more commercial images. What makes an image commercial? Well, it has a clear client or it has a clear industry need. So that means it's helping a business or a person achieve a goal. That means more sales, more engagement, better branding. Like, that's what makes a commercial image. And I make so many commercial images, but I make them within my style. Okay? Here's another thing that makes an image commercial. It fits within a professional standard. It fits within a professional standard, and it has real world use. We're looking through my portfolio here in case you're wondering. It fits within a professional standard, and it has real world use. Okay? So I want you to think about the last 5 images that you shot. Okay? Think about the last 5 images that you shot. Okay? Oh, by the way, fake snow. Fake snow. Snow machine. Like, how could I shoot this and this on the same day? Snow machine. On the same day. And also, this, which we shot in September or October, and this snow machine, and this snow machine, and this snow machine, and this snow machine, fake snow underneath, fake snow on the car, snow machine, commercial work is what we do. I shot this when there was no snow. This shot in September to look like a ski chalet with fake snow outside. Same day that I shot this, which you can see is clearly summer. This picture right here that you can see is clearly summer. Commercial photography. So I want you to ask yourself, okay, think about the last 5 images that you shot. Could you realistically see them in a magazine? Could you see them on a website for a business? Could you see them in an ad campaign? Could you see them as part of a corporate or personal branding effort? The answer is no to that, all of those 4 questions. If the answer is no, then you're not thinking commercially. You're not thinking commercially about photography. So let's talk about some niches that pay. Okay, and commercial photography niches, I talk about, and one of my most popular podcasts is photography niches that pay. The most profitable niches in photography is a podcast in the Carty Method playlist. Have a search for it. So, photography niches that pay. Portraits. Okay, portraits is what I do. I mean, it's not all that I do, but it is so much of what I do is portrait related. I'm talking personal branding for entrepreneurs. Okay, that's like headshots, actors. I'm talking corporate. Like, there's so many different applications. Once you know how to photograph people well, there's so many different applications of where people photography can go. Okay, so portraits. That's a commercial niche that pays insanely well. I've made a living being a portrait photographer. I shoot them in an editorial way, but my photographs have made it to Vogue. So I have a portrait sensibility. Fashion and editorial. That is another angle. Fashion and editorial. And for those who don't know, I started as a fashion photographer. I shot fashion only for the first 5 years of my career. And then I started adding portraits. I started shooting editorially for Canada's largest newspaper, which is the Globe and Mail. And I shot editorial celebrities for the Globe and Mail starting around when I was about 23 years old. So by the time I was 27, I'd shot Phil Collins and Roger Moore and Tom York from Radiohead and like all kinds of incredible actors, celebrities, writers. Like, it was amazing. But I started as a fashion photographer and a fashion and editorial photographer. And I was shooting fashion and fashion editorial. And I got my first fashion cover when I was 23 years old. So fashion, you'll see I have a fashion sensibility to my work. I understand fashion because I started as a fashion photographer, but I mix fashion photography, pure fashion and beauty, with my portraits, with my editorial, with the real people. Fashion and editorial means magazine shoots. That means model portfolios. That means shooting for clothing brands, like putting Cardinal Official, this rapper, in this incredible Hugo Boss suit and shooting him for a magazine. So fashion and editorial. And at the time when I shot Ludacris in Detroit, he was wearing a Nietzsche, and a Nietzsche was a huge brand that the magazine that I was shooting with was very in bed with. So we brought Ludacris this shirt so he would wear this shirt. So we would have him wearing the brand that was paying the magazine and taking out ads in the editorial. So strategic. There's also product photography. And product photography is very commercial. That could be e-com, that could be lifestyle, that could be product shots, ad campaigns. I do product photography, but I don't do product photography in the way that you think. I do like applied product photography, which is on figure is what, and again, the products are rarely what you would think. You know, like, here's some examples. Like, oh my God, she's got a handful of leaves and she's wearing these boots from Sorel. It's like, yeah, well, I know how to shoot products on a body. And look at this bowler hat. Look at the bowler hat that he's wearing here. But I wouldn't call myself a product photographer. I'm a commercial photographer. For me, my product is the person. But all of this photography, it's fashion, but I also shot all of this flat lay. I literally shot all of that flat lay. So, and again, I shot all of this flat lay. See, I shot all of this flat lay. So I do shoot it, but it's applied differently. I do it in a different way. So, but again, don't try to do that. Don't try to do everything. I only did that because they kind of threw it at me mid-shoot. All right, so product photography. Next is corporate photography. Corporate photography could be anything from teams, headshots, office culture, and maybe special corporate event kind of coverage. And I recently just did some amazing corporate headshots for a client, and my corporate headshots are different. My corporate headshots read a little bit different. I'm trying to find an example of something I could qualify or call a corporate headshot that's on my website, which I don't really have, but I did shoot just a bunch of them. But this is as close as I would show as a corporate headshot on my portfolio, which is this picture of Colin Firth. This picture of David Droga from Droga 5 advertising. My corporate headshots just look different, and I definitely have a whole bunch that I just shot. They're just not even on my website yet. But that means also office culture. I can also shoot people inside interior, which is how I got hired to shoot the Great Canadian Baking Show, season 4 and 5. You can see this is very pro level photography, shooting a large group of 10 plus people, the way that they're organized and all arranged and nice and orderly and smiley, and the lights gorgeous. It was a thunderstorm outside. And look at how beautifully lit this photograph is. So again, this is lighting on location. Again, a bit of a group, but having an understanding as to how to shoot an interior. Look at how my lines are all straight, blah, 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 blah. So having an idea or knowing how to shoot interiors, I know that because I shoot people inside spaces, and I need to know how to do that at the highest level. So It's another thing and about having a well-rounded portfolio. So corporate photography, that can be so much. Maybe you shoot places. Maybe you shoot real estate. Maybe you shoot real estate. Like interiors, that's another. Interiors, like maybe you're trying to do high-end listings. Maybe you're shooting for agents. Maybe you're doing hotel interiors, hotel branding. Huge commercial area. I don't shoot any of that, but amazing. What about food and beverage? Another thing. I don't shoot any of that. What about food and beverage? That's a huge commercial angle, and they make so much money. Think about restaurants. Think about cookbooks. Think about menus. Think about social media content. Think about how every single person who gets a nice, expensive meal at a fine dining restaurant is like with their phone taking a picture of it, because that stuff, it reads really well on social media. And if you do it really well, you'll get a shit ton of followers, and then you'll get restaurants following you, and then you start making that content for restaurants. And of course, there's event photography. And I'm not talking like showing up to the opening of a door with your camera and taking pictures. I'm talking about corporate events where you're able to like create an amazing activation for the client that's hiring you. I'm talking about weddings. That's also event photography. Weddings is event photography. Any kind of special occasions where you're showing up with your camera and documenting what's happening. That is a very viable industry, although it is taking pictures instead of making pictures, which I always push the making. Event photography is low frequency, but there is a way to curb event photography into lifestyle. There's a way to turn event photography into lifestyle, and there's real money if you can learn how to do that, which I love teaching the people in the Carty method how to do that. All right, let's talk about the fact that every niche has a demand, okay? If you're a niched photographer, every niche has a demand, okay? The photographers who understand that demand and create work tailored to it, they get paid. Plain and simple. Like every niche has a demand. So if you make work that is tailored to that domain and that demand, you will get paid. It is plain and simple. Okay? If you're trying to make a living at photography, you should be looking only at the market before you're looking at your photos. Look at the market. Learn how to read what the market needs. And if you're having a hard time with that, I just released my self-paced courses. It's phase 0. It's called the Carty method. I'm choking. It's called the Carty method. Go to thecartymethod.com, and at the top here, you'll see courses. And go to my courses and get into phase 0, which is called setting your stage. Your success starts with clarity. And this phase helps you identify clarity on your goals, your niche, and the path ahead, and to discover your horizon goals, what your competition is doing. And I just released this recently. And I have all of the 6 phases of the Carty method available now. You can get phase 0, 1, and 2. Now, phase 3 to 6 are coming soon. So I can help you if you need it. Let's talk about portfolio building images. Portfolio building images. And this is about skill development and also proof of concept. Those are the images that you need to make to get you noticed. Like you literally need to make skill development images. You need to make proof of concept images. These are portfolio building images, and they don't necessarily have to be shot for a client, but they serve an important purpose. They prove what you can do, okay? Your portfolio is your calling card. It's what gets you booked. If your portfolio is full of random snapshots with no clear theme, or your Instagram, and again, your Instagram is somewhat your portfolio, but real pros have a website. If your Instagram or website is full of random snapshots with no clear theme, you're making it harder for potential clients to understand what you offer. A strong portfolio has a clear through line, okay? Like it has a consistent vision. This is the thing that you have to lock in. Your images should feel like they belong together. And this is what I mean when I say a clear through line. Your images should feel like they belong together. You should also have an identifiable style. An identifiable style. Clients should instantly recognize your work. And your portfolio should focus on the type of work that you want to book. That's simple. Your portfolio needs to focus on the type of work that you want to get more of. If you shoot high-end portraits, your portfolio should be filled with them. Hey, Jejuan, Valentin, welcome. Thanks for hanging out. So, your portfolio building images, they matter so much, and this is why. If you're not getting booked for the work that you want, it's because your portfolio isn't showing it. It's like, I look at a lot of portfolios. I help a lot of photographers. And the thing that I see the most is photographers say that they're this, but they're showing that. They say that they're this, but they're showing that. Okay? Photographers who shoot a little bit of everything struggle. They struggle to get consistent work because their portfolio sends mixed signals. Okay? You need to create work intentionally so that the work that you're creating attracts the right clients. Okay? Here's an example. If you want to shoot fashion editorial, your portfolio shouldn't have wedding photos in it, okay? You got that? If you're trying to shoot fashion, your portfolio shouldn't have wedding photos in there. If you want to work with corporate clients, you need professional, polished headshots in your portfolio, not street photography, okay? If you're trying to get into commercial advertising, you need dynamic, high production value work, not amateur hour looking photography. So, how to build a portfolio that works for you? Well, how to do that? First, create personal shoots that align with your target industry. You want to shoot editorial fashion? Put together test shoots with stylists and makeup and hair and models. And curate ruthlessly. I'm ruthless with my portfolio. Remove anything that does not serve your future. And ensure that every single image speaks to the type of clients that you want. Your portfolio should answer one question every single time that someone looks at it. Why should a client hire me? Well, this is why. Look, it's right there. This is why a client should hire me. Your portfolio is your proof of concept. If it's not landing you work, it's because it's not strong enough or focused enough. Now, I touched on personal projects a few weeks ago, but personal projects are integral to your portfolio. And I have so many personal projects mixed in with commercial work here that it'll break your brain. These personal projects are the passion projects that set you apart. And again, I'm going to say again, they are not just random snapshots. You don't just go out and shoot whatever looks cool. A strong personal project has a clear vision, a clear concept, and a clear purpose behind it. And personal projects matter. And here's why. Number one, they refine your artistic voice. And personal projects is where you push your boundaries, where you get to experiment, and where you find out what makes your work unique. Personal projects build your reputation, okay? Some of the most successful photographers are known for their personal work that later led to commercial success. So, Annie Leibovitz Rolling Stone portraits, they weren't just commissions. Many of them were driven by her personal creative direction. Okay, she shot them on her own. And then later, Rolling Stone noticed the work that she was doing. And then they started publishing them and asking her to make more of them. But then she jumped a shark. Let's not get into Annie Leibovitz. Okay, so, and number 3, personal projects create new opportunities. Okay, they do absolutely, and over and over and over again. Personal projects create new opportunities. So many clients hire photographers based on personal projects because those images show who you are as an artist, not just what you can do on a standard assignment. So, what makes a strong personal project? Well, a strong personal project has a theme or a concept. Imagine a portrait series that explores a specific culture, a specific emotion, a specific industry. And personal projects challenge you creatively. And I have mixed in so many personal projects with commercial work in my portfolio that, again, I'll say you don't know what's what. Here's another thing that it does. Personal projects challenge you creatively, okay? A self-imposed lighting restriction, like I'm only lighting this way for this personal project. A focus on only one type of subject. And also it pushes your skill set. Shooting a long-term documentary project that requires storytelling, consistency, patience, like it elevates your brand. Imagine a fine art project that could be sold as prints or exhibited in a gallery. And personal projects lead to commercial work. And I'm going to show you. Some of the best jobs that I've ever booked came because of my personal projects. Some of my biggest jobs came because of my personal projects. And I'm just going to show how I blend commercial work with personal project, commercial work, personal project, commercial work, commercial work, commercial work, personal project, commercial work, personal project, personal project, commercial work, personal project, commercial work, commercial work, commercial work, commercial work, personal project, commercial work, personal project, commercial work, personal project. You see how it goes? Like it's beautiful. Commercial work, commercial work, commercial work, commercial work, personal project. Commercial work, commercial work, commercial work, commercial work, commercial work, commercial work, commercial work. Personal project, personal project, personal project, commercial work, 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 personal project. This personal work project got me so much work. This is called multiplicity. And multiplicity was this idea that I had to shoot multiple frames on the same frame. And here's another one of multiplicity. I use Elinchrom strobes, and me shooting multiplicity for myself and a commercial client seeing that technique. Well, here's me using that technique to shoot for Nike women. Nike. Personal work, Nike. And again, another instance where I shot that technique for literally advertising for a brand. This brand is called Fresh Baked Bread. They took a 2-page ad out in a magazine with this picture and also this other image right here. So multiplicity, commercial work, directly from my personal work. So this is a technique I developed personally, and then it became commercial work. Here is another one, which is my light painting series. I've been doing light painting for the better part of 20 years. And Energizer hired me to make content with their flashlights and create light painting for them. So, and also they hired me to make a video demonstrating how to light paint. So directly from personal work to commercial work. And this is not even people related, but the light painting I did was all people related. This is just this is just a flex. Every once in a while I have to flex my creativity. Yes. So you can see some of the best jobs that I've booked came because of personal projects. And I'm just showing you one example of multiplicity, but it like portraits. Portraits itself was personal work for me because I was a fashion shooter. I was shooting portraits as personal work of all my friends because I was practicing and getting the reps. And then when I showed my fashion portfolio to the Globe and Mail, the art director said this: "Here, nice book, shoot this." And I looked and it was a portrait. So I went and I shot this portrait of this writer. His name was David Sawyer. His name still is David Sawyer. And then I brought this portrait back. I gave it to him. This is a print because it was prints back then. I gave him a print and he's like, "Good. Here, shoot this." And it was another portrait. And I said, "Michael, you know I'm a fashion photographer, right?" And he's like, "Carty, any hack with a camera can take pictures of beautiful girls in beautiful locations with beautiful hair, makeup, styling. It takes a real photographer to shoot the rest of us. What kind of a photographer are you?" I was like, whoa. It takes a real photographer to photograph people who don't like to be photographed, who are kind of ugly. It takes a real photographer to photograph them. And I'm just seeing what kind of a photographer you are. Woo-hoo! It changed my life. Changed my life. Soon after that, I was shooting Tom York from Radiohead. Soon after that, I was a portrait photographer. I walked away from fashion like third period French. But then hip hop started and streetwear started. And I rode that wave and I'm still riding that wave right now. So, yeah, personal work. Personal work. Personal work shows your point of view as an artist, okay? Personal work shows your point of view as a photographer, okay? Personal work is so important. And as I share some of my personal work with you, personal work shows your point of view as an artist, okay? Personal work shows your ability to think conceptually and to how to execute at a high level. And personal work shows your dedication to your craft beyond just getting paid, okay? Personal work is an investment. And by the way, it might not pay off immediately, but personal work builds your long-term value as a photographer. Okay? So, here's some thoughts that you need to ask yourself. If your portfolio is full up of images that does not fit into one of these three categories, you absolutely have work to do. Absolutely, you have work to do. Okay? So, if your portfolio is full of images that do not fit into one of these three categories, you have work to do. Number one, are you making commercial images? Are you making commercial images that businesses, that brands, or that individuals would pay for? Are you doing that? Are you building a strong portfolio that reflects your skill set and your goals? Are you doing that? Are you building a strong portfolio that reflects your skill set and your goals? Ask yourself this. Are you pushing your creativity with personal projects that set you apart? Are you doing that? So, those three things. Are you making commercial images that businesses, brands, and individuals would pay for? Are you doing that? Are you building a strong portfolio that reflects your skills, your goals? Are your goals aligned with the work that you're showing? And are you pushing your creativity with personal projects that set you apart? Are you doing that? So, everything that you shoot should serve a purpose. Every single thing that you shoot needs to serve a purpose. If it doesn't, sadly, you actually are making nothing pictures. And I know it's a pill. It's a pill to swallow, but if your work is not touching on one of those three bases, you're making nothing pictures. So here's your action step for today. Okay, this is your action step for today. I want you to go through your work and delete anything that is not helping you move forward. I say this so often to people who are in Portfolio Lab, my portfolio development system. Go to thecartymethod.com and learn about Portfolio Lab. I talk a lot about having an emotional attachment to your photos. You should have no emotional attachment to your photos. Once they're out in the world, you better be ready to let them go, because now they can either work for you or work against you. And one of the reasons that I do portfolio reviews is because people have work that's working against them and they don't know it. So I help people differentiate between work that's working for them and work that's working against them. So you can have a well-rounded portfolio that actually gets you work. If you have an emotional attachment to your photos, you won't fucking let go of pictures that aren't serving you. So have no emotional attachment. I'm showing you my photos. You could be at home saying, this guy sucks. I'm like, I don't give a shit what you think about my photography, because I know my work has commercial viability. I know because it's been proven by clients. So in this case, your opinion doesn't matter. And I also move through the world where I feel that way. Most people's opinion of my work at this point, after 3.5 decades, I don't care whether you're down with my shit or not. Hopefully you are, but if you're not, doesn't matter. So I have no emotional attachment to my photos, okay? I have no emotional attachment to my photos because my photos are a means to an end. And that end is being a household name because of the photos that I make. Okay, so it's hard to delete work that isn't moving you forward when you're emotionally attached to it. So stop being emotionally attached to your work. And here's the next thing you're gonna do. Make a plan for your next shoot based on one of these three categories that I just went up into, okay? Meaning commercial images that businesses, brands, or individuals would pay for, or strong portfolio images that reflect your skills and align with your goals that are heavily niched, and personal projects that will push your photography forward. You got to be touching on one of those three when you're making work, okay? And also, if you weren't before, you better start shooting with intention, because that is exactly how you go from struggling photographer to thriving professional, by shooting with intention. You gotta start doing that now. So I'm gonna get into how to make something pictures, okay? And I'm sure you guys wanna break that cycle of making nothing pictures, and you're wondering how you do it and how you make something pictures. Well, you have to create images with intention, with purpose, with value, okay? Images that serve a function, that tell a story, images that lead to opportunities. Every single image that you create should be moving you forward in some way, whether it's making you money, building your portfolio, or strengthening your brand. You can actually start making something pictures that will work for you. You actually can do it. And it's so simple. So grab a pen. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to define the purpose before the photos. Define the purpose before you start snapping away. Pretend your camera's a gun and take it seriously, okay? Even before you pick up your camera, ask yourself, and by the way, your camera is just a tool. It is a means to an end. Before you pick up your camera, ask yourself, what is this image supposed to achieve? What am I trying to do here? Okay, ask yourself that. And ask yourself this, who is this image for? What am I shooting this for? And ask yourself this, how does this image serve my career? How does this image serve my business? Okay? And by the way, if you don't have an answer to any of those questions, you have a shot worth walking away from. Okay? Walk away. Okay. The 3 key purposes every image should have. Every image has these 3 reasons for existing. This is the purpose of the photography. It should, number 1, sell a service or sell a product. Okay? If you're shooting commercially, your images should be solving problems. For a business, they should be solving problems for an individual. A brand needs product photography for an ad campaign. The purpose of that image is to drive sales. Okay? That is the purpose of the image. Number 2, this is another reason for making a picture. It proves a skill. You're proving a skill or you're proving a style. Okay? If you're building your portfolio, your images should be showing potential clients what you can do at a high level. So here's an example. Maybe shoot a high-end fashion picture that proves that you can shoot editorially. Maybe shoot a story, a series of pictures that show that you can tell an editorial story. Maybe shoot a cover, a double-page spread, an end page, a table of contents. Maybe show that you understand how to work within print. And number 3, we're trying to make pictures that strengthen our brand and our artistic voice. If you're working on a personal project, your images should reinforce what makes your work unique. So, black and white portrait series that showcases your signature approach to storytelling, well, there's a great thing that you should probably be showcasing. Before every single shoot, be clear on which of those 3 categories your image fits into. If you're just shooting because it looks cool, but you can't connect it to a clear purpose, it's a wasted opportunity. It really is. You have to identify the target audience. Every strong image has an intended audience, okay? You need to ask yourself, if you're shooting commercial work, who's the client? What do they need? What kind of photography would help them grow their business? If you're building a portfolio, who do you want to impress? Who's it for? Who are you showing that portfolio to? What kind of jobs do you want to book? And if you're creating personal work, who do you want it to reach? How does this work contribute to this overall brand that you're building? So, let's say you're trying to break into fashion photography. The wrong approach would be you randomly shoot people in cool outfits without thinking about the market. The right approach would be you research which magazines, brands, or modeling agencies you want to work with and create work that fits those aesthetics. Want to shoot for a luxury brand? Your images should look like they belong already in a high-end magazine campaign. Want to get editorial magazine work? Your pictures should look like they're already in magazines. My pictures look like they're in magazines already because they are. So, but what came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, the chicken. I shot pictures that looked like they were in magazines, and then I started getting hired to shoot for magazines. I shot pictures first that looked like they should be in magazines, And then I started getting hired to shoot for magazines. Magazines don't train you for how to shoot for them, FYI. They don't train you on how to shoot for them. You learn how to shoot covers. You learn how to shoot editorially. You learn how to say something without saying a single word. You learn how to say something with a photograph, with a frame. And that is what gets editorial work. So, if you're trying to get editorial work, obviously your images should tell a story and match the magazine's style and sensibility. Want to work with influencers? Your work should be vibrant, engaging, and optimized for social media branding. Like, when you look at my pictures without the tear sheets, without the editorial text and stuff around the work, when you look at my work without the tear sheets, like, and then you see my work with the tear sheet, with the branding, you can see my work is so text friendly. So text friendly. So understanding this is why I get so much work, is because I understand how to shoot covers. I understand how to shoot covers because I shoot covers. But I shot covers before I got hired to shoot covers. But I've been shooting covers for 35 years. Not 30. I can't exaggerate. 30 years. I was 23 when I shot my first cover. It's not about shooting what you like, okay? And if you get nothing else from today's episode, know this. It's not about shooting what you like. It's about shooting what your audience needs, okay? So, one of the biggest mistakes photographers make is showing up unprepared and just seeing what happens, okay? You can't just show up unprepared and see what happens. It's an amateur's approach. That's the kind of people who take pictures of things that are happening. Pros plan, okay? So, let's plan a shoot that would create something pictures. How do you do it? Write this down. Number one, you pre-visualize the end result. You pre-visualize what the photo shoot is going to look like, okay? And you ask yourself these questions. What's the story of this image, okay? What's the story of this image I'm trying to make here? What emotions do you want it to convey, okay? And ideally, where would this image be used? Okay, that's the first thing. Pre-visualize the end result. Number two, you create a detailed shot list. Detailed shot list. List the key shots that you absolutely have to get and break it down by angles, by composition, by lighting setups. Shot list. Number three, plan your lighting, plan your composition. Create mood boards for light. And understand, your light sets the mood of the photo. So decide in advance how you want to shape it and create a mood board just for your lighting ideas. Strong compositions don't happen by accident, by the way. We need to think about your framing, your leading lines, your negative space before you shoot. And I want you to know your editing direction. Are you shooting for high contrast? Are you doing a high key thing? Is it muted? Is it bold colors? The final image should match the overall aesthetic and purpose, and also match the overall aesthetic of the rest of your work. You shouldn't be doing new techniques in post-production every single session. Your work should look like your work, which is one thing that I see over and over and over again is inconsistency between skin tone from picture to picture, inconsistency of exposure between picture to picture, and a lack of variety in ethnic backgrounds, a lack of variety in subject matter, a lack of variety in males and females, a lack of variety in ages. Like, I just see a lot of one-trick ponies, truly. So if you go into a shoot with a plan, you're already ahead of 90% of the photographers out there. If you go into a shoot with a plan, you're ahead of 90% of the photographers out there. By the way, those 90%, they all fail in their first year. But don't be one of them by also going out to shoot without a plan. So I want you to be considering marketability, okay? If you want to make money with your photography, you need to think like a business owner, not just like a creative. Ask yourself, could this image sell? Could a brand use it for marketing? Could it be licensed? The answer is no. Think about how you can tweak it to make it work in a commercial context. If you shoot random portraits in dramatic lighting, yeah, it looks cool, but it has no real world use. And think about how you could be shifting that to shooting a personal branding portrait that could be used for an entrepreneur's website or LinkedIn profile. Well, now you've created an image that has commercial value. It's like you just shifted it. Small adjustments in intent, like that's all you need to make. These small adjustments in intent can be the difference between a hobby and a career. And it's just so many photographers miss the mark. Every time you pick up your camera, you should have a reason, okay? You should have a reason. If you don't have a reason, you're just making noise. So, let's talk about some real world examples of making something pictures. And I've been showing you some photos within my website, obviously. I've been showing you some images that really work. So, sorry, I'm just seeing where I am here with these notes. All right, here we are. Real world application. All right, we're getting to the end of this amazing project. So, real world applications. So, a lot of photographers struggle to get high-paying clients because they shoot for themselves. And again, it's so hard to get out of that. Everybody early in their career shoots what they think is cool, but cool doesn't sell. So when you start studying what brands actually need, that is when you start getting booked. So one of my biggest jobs came because I created a test shoot that looked like a real campaign. Brands saw it, they reached out, they hired me for paid projects. My first paid project I got my first paid advertising project was a national campaign that I shot for YTV, for an advertising agency. And I didn't know anything, and I underquoted, and I undercharged them by $10,000 or $15,000. So I didn't know. So again, this is more reason why I do this. So not only can you get paid, but can you get paid properly? If you want to get paid work, you have to create those personal projects that look like the work you want to get hired for. And it starts right now while you're new. And it's always quality over quantity. We're not trying to show volume. You don't have to have the volume of work that I have in my portfolio. I have decades on you. And make sure that you only show the work that you want to get hired for. Don't show weddings if you're not trying to do weddings anymore. Make sure your portfolio and your work has a clear style. Your work has to be recognizable. I hope you feel like my work has that recognizable-ism. And also, you have to market. You have to tell people that you're available for hire and talk about the transformations that you're creating for people. If you don't know what you offer, like what your offer is, your clients don't either. So over and over and over again, ask yourself, what problems do my photographs solve? What problems do my pictures solve or my services solve? Who's my ideal client? And everybody needs to have their ideal client like taped on their wall. And what type of work do you want to be known for? What type of work do you want to be known for? Like, it's something that is always important. What type of work do you want to be known for?
Once you define those three things, marketing becomes so easy because you have a clear message. And I use my personal projects as marketing tools. The best photographers in the world book jobs because of their original work, not just because they're technically skilled. So we have to build a brand, and our personal projects and our commercial work together, that aligns to build our brand. If people look at your work and can't immediately tell what you specialize in, you have a branding problem. So we're trying to create a signature style. We're trying to create a way of shooting that's uniquely ours. So we have to be intentional about what we post, about what we share. Every image should reinforce that expertise. And we have to make sure that our online presence is professional and polished. Clients judge us based on what they see. The photographers who win in this industry are the ones who are strategic. They don't just make or take random pictures. They create images with impact. So now you know how to start making something pictures. So here's your actionable steps for today and always. I'm sure you're tired of spinning your wheels, and I'm sure you want to start making images that actually build your career. This is what you need to do next. And I've said it, audit your portfolio, audit your Instagram today. Ditch that stuff that's promoting that party that was 3 years ago, that you had a kid 7 months ago. I got it. Pictures of your kid, amazing. Your kid's beautiful. But create your own personal Instagram for your kid that's private, that you just share with your family, so your actual Instagram can be used for what it's for, which is getting work and attracting clients. Go through every image in your portfolio and delete anything that does not serve a clear purpose. Ask yourself, would a client pay for this? Does it represent the work that I want to do? Keep only the images that fit into one of the three valuable categories: commercial work, portfolio development, or valuable personal projects. And define your career goals. What is your photography goal? What type of photography do you want to be known for? It's so important. What type of clients do you want to attract? Are you attracting those clients now? And if not, are you shooting the work that will eventually attract those clients? If not, it's time to change that. You have the power. Number 3, start shooting with intention. Before every shoot, define that purpose. Why? Why are you making it? Is it for a paying client? Is it to showcase a specific skill? Is it for a personal project that overall will build your brand? And make a shot list, so you're not just hoping to get something good. You're planning for it. And number 4, it's time to refine your portfolio strategy. Stop filling your portfolio with random, I think it's cool, shots that don't connect to a market. And build a through line in your portfolio, a consistent style, a clear message, and work that aligns with the type of clients that you want to book. And get feedback from experts. One of the biggest mistakes photographers make is working in a vacuum. You need feedback from people who knows what sells and what doesn't. Instead of guessing what works, get real insights on your portfolio from an industry professional who can help you refine it. That's me, by the way. Here's the next step. You got to join Portfolio Lab. If you want to stop making nothing pictures and start creating work that gets you paid, the next step is clear. Join Portfolio Lab. I just dropped Portfolio Lab. Inside Portfolio Lab, you're going to get expert portfolio reviews, so you know what's working and what's not. You're also going to get actionable feedback on how to refine your portfolio for real world success. And as I pull up the Carty method, all you need to do is go right here, click Portfolio Lab. You're also going to get strategies to attract high value clients with your photography, a structured approach to building that portfolio that'll sell, not just portfolio that looks cool on Instagram. And I hope you've made it to the end of this video and you're serious about turning your photography into a profitable career. Portfolio Lab is where you need to be, straight up. So very proud of this offer that I've created for you because it works. You can go to thecardymethod.com/portfolio lab, which is right here, and start building a portfolio with me that's going to get you hired. And not just with the other 100+ people who are in Portfolio Lab. Let's not waste another year. It's 2025. It is February. It is past February 21st, which means we're a month away from the first day of spring, which means winter is practically over, which means people are starting to come out of hibernation and start really wanting to create work with photographers that is going to move their needle forward this year. Don't waste another year hoping clients will magically find you. You have to make your portfolio work for you. I'm going to see you inside Portfolio Lab. Let's build something real. I hope you found today valuable. Again, I hope you enjoyed this members only, commercial-free live stream. And if you are watching this after the fact with commercials, thank you. Make sure that you hit replay gang in the comments. And also, I put live chat on my replays as well. The way that I do my podcast now is it is live for my members. If you're watching live, yo, thank you. Appreciate you. And then a few hours later, meaning in the evening time, I premiere it publicly for everybody with commercials. So let me know how you watch. Let me know if you're watching live. Leave me a comment and let me know if you're watching after the fact. Know this, there's nothing that I want more than you to succeed as a professional photographer, but it starts with you. You have to make the first steps. I'm here to help you get there. Thanks so much for watching.
This commercial-free live stream was brought to you by the members of this channel. If it wasn't for you, we'd have to fill up these live streams with ads that would just interrupt the flow. The members of this channel make commercial-free content during these live streams possible. Consider becoming a member for $5 a month today to gain access to secret live streams, live chats, and to show your support with that crown badge next to your name. Sharing is caring. If this content has brought you value today, share it, clip it, post it to your socials. Curating and sharing helpful content makes you an expert, even if the content you're sharing isn't yours. Be a curator and share this content with your network. If you're an emerging or struggling photographer that's trying to break free from your current 9-to-5 grind and transition to the life of a working pro photographer, that's our obsession here at the Carty Method. Register, get the support you need. If you're alone and struggling at this craft, make sure you join the Carty Method community. You'll always find help in the show notes. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Find your creative and business genius with the Carty Method.
Hey, if you hear my shining voice, do let me know in the comments, what's the biggest thing that you're struggling with? I mean, I'm obsessed about helping. As you can see, I give a hell of a lot of my time to other photographers to help them get to their dreams. I need to know what yours are, and let me know in the comments. And yes, live chat comments, live chat is very helpful, but comments truly underneath the video in the comment section are what really help this move forward. You can also share this content if it brought you value. Just hit the share button. You can also make clips. Clips are incredible and help amazingly. Guys, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. Visit thecardymethod.com to see